Alexi, what is the bar? What is the measure that would make you call 2022 a success for the Americans? Where do they have to get to where you say that's a success?
Well, look, this U.S. men's national team, I'm hard-pressed to find a point when we have been more optimistic about this group. And it's relative to the players in terms of where they play, great teams and great leagues, and then the sheer depth that we have. Also, the youth. And so there's the extrapolation out of what they're going to be, not just in 2022, but also into 2026 when the U.S. is hosting that World Cup. Obviously, you have to get there. They're in a good position right now to get there. That's the first hurdle. But let's be honest, we don't break our arms patting ourselves on the back for getting to a World Cup, something that we've done since 1990. And after that incredible failure in 2017 of not qualifying for 2018, that's the first order of business. I think that they will do that. And then there's the expectation to be successful. So what's success? Obviously, getting out of the group. I don't care if it's the group of death or it looks like the easiest group on paper. Ultimately, it's a World Cup. There's a reason why these teams are there. But at this point in 2022, in November 2022 in Qatar, your U.S. men's national team, you should expect them to be successful, to absolutely get out of the group and to go on and hopefully do good things. And ultimately, whenever it's over, winning the World Cup or leaving it, after the group stage, you want to feel good that this is a group that is heading in the right direction for 2026, because whatever 2022 is, 2026 is going to be a whole nother world when we host the world again when it comes to the Men's World Cup with our friends to the north from Canada and our friends to the south from Mexico.
Tell me if this is even comprehensible, but if everything broke right for the Americans 2022, is making a final, the World Cup final, is that something that's a possibility, or is that just too much too soon, and possibly in 2026 that could be attainable?
Well, keep in mind that back in 2002, the U.S. men's national team in a World Cup was a handball away, basically, and there was no VAR back then, from going to a semifinal of a World Cup. So anything can happen. The soccer gods can look down and smile upon you, or they can whack you around a little bit. And so you never know what you're going to get. Obviously, some of it has to do with the draw. Some of it has to do with injuries and red cards and stuff you can control. You can't control. But look, I look at this team and I am equally as optimistic and bullish about this group, because there's a personality and there's a ruthlessness that I like, and also kind of a beautiful arrogance that hasn't existed a lot, in that this group, I think, recognizes the opportunity and says, you know what? On my watch, I'm going to do something that you haven't seen before. Well, hey, go at it. They have every opportunity. They have every resource afforded to them. And now we have higher expectations, but I'm really excited. And look, I mean, I know it sounds crazy to think that the U.S. men's national team could win a World Cup, but it could absolutely happen. Does it change everything? No, but it's a pretty big deal, and it would be a pretty big deal. But the fight is daily, weekly, monthly, yearly in terms of soccer in the United States and that culture. But it gets bigger and bigger. And look, if the U.S. men's national team was to win a World Cup in 2022 or in 2026, it would be a huge shot in the arm for, this soccer community and culture that is so much more robust and passionate and discerning than back in the days, back in the 1900s when I was running around. Yeah, I mean, look, I've been around a long time. I was playing back, like I said, back in the 1900s in the previous century, and to see what the game has evolved into both on and off the field, it warms the cockles of my redheaded heart. It makes me so happy and makes me so proud. It makes me incredibly proud that there's a whole generation that wakes up today and they can watch every league in the world at their fingertips when it comes to television. They can go to their own soccer-specific stadiums and they can watch their local team, whether it's men's or women's. They have all of these different leagues. They have incredible coaching and the infrastructure and the development, the youth development, and all of these pathways. I mean, listen, I went and played in Italy after the 1994 World Cup. I had to star in a World Cup to be given that opportunity. And now we have players that are almost bypassing the first initial professional participation that they have when it comes to something like Major League Soccer and going off to these great leagues. That's wonderful. I don't need credit. I don't need them to care. As a matter of fact, what I take solace in and incredible pride in is that this generation wakes up and has absolutely no idea all the crap and the wild west that it once was. Because listen, it's not just about soccer, it's about life, right? What do we want? We want our children to have it better than we did. And I look at them as kind of my children. And I'm so glad that I was able to play a really small part, along with so many other men and women on and off the field, to create this opportunity, to create this new American soccer culture that has so many opportunities for these players.